really didn't think I'd sleep in that late. I guess I really needed the rest. Hopefully, moving forward, I can sleep earlier tonight and wake up tomorrow at 6 in the morning because I love watching the sunrise in Palm Springs. I woke up briefly for it when Chandler had woken me up, but I didn't stay up for it. I immediately fed him and went back to bed. There's something about a Palm Springs sunrise that makes life feel like it's fine. They're always so gorgeous. I love the sunsets too, but it's the sunrise for me. Before I moved to San Francisco, I used to come to Palm Springs quite a lot. I would come almost every other week. On the other weeks, I would be visiting my mom in San Diego. If I wasn't in Palm Springs, I was in Santa Barbara or San Luis Obispo, exploring around, finding my zen. Palm Springs, desert hot springs, just the desert has always felt so good. I love the ocean, I love the forest, but there's something about the desert. Like I said yesterday, it's such a barren place that you have all of these ideas just bouncing around out of nowhere, and it's such an inspiring place. I absolutely love the desert, so I'm really happy that I'm here for the next 9 days. I will be here for the next 11 days because I forgot to mention that I will be in Joshua Tree for 2 days, and then I'm off to San Diego after. I had a lot of nightmares last night. I think that's why I also slept in late. I had a dream that Chandler's tail was cut off and he was injured, and I was just going ballistic, crying, screaming. And then I woke up, thank God, and I woke up and his tail was still intact. He's still cute as ever and hungry. That was when he woke me up for breakfast. And then I had another dream. I had 2 more nightmares, and yeah, it was not fun. I hate having nightmares. They're not, especially when it comes to my cat. Those are just not fun at all. But I also feel like it stems from my subconscious, because obviously Chandler's with me here in the desert, and I have a lot of what ifs. I do let him out to roam around, but what if he jumps out and leaves the property? Or what if a hawk sees him and grabs him? I don't know. These are the things I think about. And the other 2 nightmares that I had were absolutely coming from my subconscious, just about some things that I've been thinking about, pondering about. I mean, it's normal, but I hate the nightmares because when I sleep, I see it as a form of relaxation, as we all do. And when I have a nightmare, it just wakes me up and puts me in this fight or flight mode, and I don't like that. Anyway, I woke up and I laid down my yoga mat. I did some breathing exercises, and I meant to journal, but I wanted to say hi to the owner before 10 a.m. just so, I don't know, I don't want him to think I'm just sleeping in, even though I am, but I wanted to say hi, and he gave me a layout for the next couple of days, which I'm very excited for. Today is when kind of the real work starts. I do regret not bringing a notebook for this. I have tons of notebooks in my apartment that are unused, and I thought that maybe I should bring a notebook for this so that I could learn or retain everything that I'm learning instead of typing it all down, but I didn't. So I'll probably go to maybe Target again and get a notebook, unless there's another store nearby. I also had a cup of coffee today, but I realized I don't really want to drink as much coffee as I normally do. I usually drink 3 to 4 cups a day, and I'm not in a place where I need that much caffeine right now. And quite frankly, I have enough energy to stay up until 1:30 in the morning. So I don't think coffee is needed right now. Also, coffee puts me in this state of mind where I'm so hyper alert and ready to get things done, but I'm not in a place where I need to be hyper alert. I'm in the desert. I'm in a hot springs hotel, and I don't need to be getting a lot done. I've gotten everything that I needed to get done so that I don't have to worry about my clients for the next 2 weeks. So I don't need coffee. I will probably opt for a tea now or water. Ended up having a cup of coffee. I'm on my third now, but I think after today, I don't really want to have coffee anymore. I also want to sleep early tonight so that I can wake up super early again tomorrow. But right now, Chandler and I are chilling in the lobby. I've never actually properly hung out at the lobby. Usually I'm outside tanning or I'm in my room. So it's been nice to have the lobby to myself. I've always loved this conversation pit. That's my favorite aspect of mid-century modern hotels or architecture is the conversation pits. And I love this area right here. It's just so perfect. I love all the lines, the angles, and I love how it's not all cactus, it's strategically placed. It's so zen. I wanted to talk about the waters. So the reason why Palm Springs and Desert Hot Springs is called these cities is because there are healing waters that run underneath the cities, aka the springs. Although Palm Springs is much more popular to the public, the city actually doesn't have any hotels. If they do, it's very few that have these natural hot springs running through their pools. All of their pools are either saltwater or chlorinated, which I think blows. I think that with these healing waters, every single hotel in this region should have them. But I recently learned that you have to pay to have these waters run through your pools, which I think is a crime. Because these waters are naturally occurring and they bring so many benefits. And in comparison to a lot of hot springs that flow all throughout the world, these hot springs in particular do not have that sulfur scent to it, which I find incredibly appealing because I can only take in the scent of sulfur for so long until I get nauseous. So that's definitely a winning aspect of these hot springs. I think this is my first time sitting in this chair. This is my first time sitting on a Eames chair, an authentic one. I've sat in a lot of chairs that look like this, but not the actual original one, which is super cool. So I've been carrying this around and I want to share with you what's so special about these minerals. You can pause this video and look at all of the mineral contents that are in the water. I'm going to read this to you. I've read this many times. This is an article from the year 1993 written by John Hunt, who is a writer and lecturer here in Desert Hot Springs. The Indians in this part of California are known as the Cahuilla or Cahuilla. One band of this tribe has lived in the Palm Springs area for centuries. Most historians agree on the fact that the first Europeans to make extended contact with them were members of the Romero expedition in 1823 through 1824. Romero was a brevet captain from Sonora who was sent into the Coachella Valley by the New Mexican government to find a route through the desert to Tucson. Romero's part stopped at Sexy, or Sechi, which is what the Indians called Palm Springs, and after inquiring if there was any gold in the area, they were told, "No gold, señor, but we have water." Sticking his toe in the water, the captain probably exclaimed, "Agua caliente, agua caliente." In Spanish, that means hot water. They named the place Agua Caliente, and from that time on, the Indians there have been known as the Agua Caliente Band of the Cahuilla Indians. In his Stories and Legends of the Palm Springs Indians, published in 1943, Francisco Patencio, an elder of the tribe, says that the first Indians to settle near Palm Springs were afraid to live near the water, fearing they were quote-unquote alive. According to Patencio, a huge blue frog lived in the spring, as well as a snake and other spirits. These spirit beings would cry like human infants when something bad was about to happen. They knew, the Indians said, so these hot mineral springs held magical qualities for them. Before the Indians entered the water to bathe, they made offerings of food and prayers to assure their safety. The original bathhouse was torn down in 1916 when the Indians put up their own structure which had 2 rooms, one large enough to cover a pool and allow 4 people to stand together in the hot, curative waters. These springs are located at the present site of the Spa Hotel on Indian Avenue in downtown Palm Springs. Although they are covered and can only be seen through a viewing tube at the front of the building, The same healing water is still being used, pumped up into 2 large outdoor pools. One pool maintained at 106 degrees Fahrenheit, which is how it comes out of the earth. The hotel is a large, modern complex with 230 rooms and a warm and friendly atmosphere. Indoors, treatments include facials, massages, and a number of individual whirlpool baths, which use the healing hot waters. Great care is taken so that a visitor can make full use of these magical waters. Bob Landry, director of sales, also informed me that the Kahuyas recently purchased the hotel. They have always owned the property, which they plan to refurbish and maintain. Undoubtedly, they will make great efforts to assuage the spirits who live in the waters. 10 minutes to the north of Palm Springs lies a small spa community of Desert Hot Springs. With a population of around 14,000 residents, the town caters to visitors from all over the world who come each year to make use of the abundance of natural hot mineral water. Technically, there are no springs or water above the surface. Most of the more than 45 motels and hotels have their own wells, which pump the healing waters up at temperatures ranging from 85 degrees to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Ideally, the swimming pools are kept at 90 degrees and the jacuzzis at 104. This water, which comes from snow runoff from Mount San Gorgonio, travels by way of an underground river until years later it arrives beneath the surface of the desert, where it is dammed up and heated by a series of earthquake fault zones which impede on the downhill flow of the water. Dr. Bro, an Australian chemist and metallurgist, spent many years traveling the world analyzing curative waters. He has said of the waters in Desert Hot Springs, "From the analysis of these waters, I have not found the like of them in any country I have explored. It is pronounced curative agency, as is the air. It could be bottled and shipped everywhere." An analysis of the water shows the sulfur content to be high, but in a crystalline form, so there's no odor. Following is a partial breakdown of the content of the hot water. And that is what we see here. So that's that. That's everything that you need to know about these waters. I am gonna go for a soak. I just had therapy. It's so needed. So needed. I brought a lot of my vacation products, so I'm gonna apply this lotion right here. This is the Vacation Classic lotion. Basically, I'm just going to lounge out by the pool, keep reading my book, and I'll only give myself an hour. Honestly, sometimes when I'm in like LA, I really like to soak in the sun all day and no breaks. But since I'm here for quite a bit of time, I'm thinking I'm just gonna give myself an hour to soak, and then at night I'll go and use the pools and do like a night soak, because I'm not really looking to tan this time around. I mean, I am, of course, I'm always looking to tan, but I think I want to be much more intentional and use the waters to just like heal my skin, heal my life, heal everything. But of course, we have to stay protected when it comes to the sun, because I really like vacation. I also like that it smells really nice. It has this nostalgic scent to it, and it doesn't leave a white cast, which is always a bonus. So what I do is I will put this on, and then I have the spray, and every time I go into the water, I spray immediately after towel drying off, or just air drying off, honestly, because it's so hot here and there's a slight breeze, you dry up pretty quickly. But yeah, that is my plan for the day. I learned quite a little bit about how the town of Desert Hot Springs works and how they treat hoteliers, and it's interesting. Very interesting. Very old school, because they are pushing for a billboard. But in my opinion, yes, billboards work, but I feel like billboards should be like a supplemental part of your marketing strategy. I think a lot of, in my opinion, what I think towns like Desert Hot Springs should do, because they're not as popular as Palm Springs, is they should put an emphasis on influencer marketing and boosting, like the hotels themselves should boost their social media marketing. I feel like social media should be like number one priority, and not a billboard. So this is the spray that I was talking about. This is what I will keep reapplying my body with, and it's pretty cool. I love to be protected, but I also love to use products that aren't harmful to your body and harmful for, like if I were at the beach, harmful towards our environment. So that's that. I'm gonna grab my book and read. I just soaked in the 104-degree hot tub for, I want to say 10-15 minutes, and just kind of like reflecting. I was talking about it with my therapist, how I've been here through different stages of my life, and I thought about that really hard while I was soaking, and I was thinking about, I thought about my time here with EJ, and it was pouring rain, it was so cold, very cold winter here in Palm Springs, or here in the desert, which if you know the desert, it's either really hot or really cold. The only thing that's consistent is how dry it is. And I remember we were in the hot tub, and there's this little hole at the very top of the bathhouse, and rain was coming down, and it felt really nice standing under there because it was cold water, and I was in essentially like this sauna, submerged in 104-degree weather, or 140-degree water. And I thought about how when I was first here, I was soaking in this middle pool right here that I'm looking at, and it is, I want to say 90 degrees, 94 degrees, 10 degrees cooler, and it was cold and windy, and I was looking up at the stars, and I was just so grateful. And now in this chapter of my life, I am here alone with Chandler. I feel like I've developed a lot in my career and in my agency, and I live in San Francisco now, and then I'm just at a different point in my life. And tonight I plan on being in that middle pool and just looking up at the stars and just thinking every single path that has led me to today, every single decision that I've made, every single turn that I've made, that's led me to right here, right now. And yeah, it's very therapeutic being here. I'm really happy. Oh my god, the water feels so good right now. I don't know what I'll do for the rest of the evening besides being on my laptop and doing a couple of things. I will probably heat up my chicken tikka masala, or maybe eat my leftover chimichanga from yesterday. I went out to lunch with the owner and his girlfriend, and I got a chimichanga to go, and I didn't realize how big it was. I didn't even get through a quarter of it. It's humongous. So I'll probably have that for dinner and then head to bed. But I think I'm gonna end off the vlog here, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.